The Music is a Day Job. I'm your host, Sean. The Music is a Day Job is brought to you by the Qoncert app. Today, the question is, when should I invest in merch? Now, because some people feel that prior to having fans, they shouldn't. And hey, I'm probably the worst person because there's times I should have invested in merch like super fast. Uh, I'd always say running a couple pieces even before you start getting fans because you never know if that is the thing that catches their eye. And the promotion from it and people coming up to you and then finding out you can do music or whatever like that, if it's dope gear. Now, here's the thing I always tell artists with like merch. Yeah, you can do your merch piece that has your group name or your name or whatever or song name, whatever, like a group, like your logo, whatever. That's well and good. That's like that's the merch you buy when you have fans because then your fans want to wear something of you and they're like your fan. People don't want to really wear stuff that says other people like that. You don't really see that many things that just are other people anymore because people just don't do it unless they're super fans of something. So for your super fans, it's dope. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember we used to have the shield on our stuff, and because we had fans, there's people that want to wear it. Now, do people want to wear it on the everyday? Not as much as my no love merch. So my no love merch uh had a N and then a broken heart, a L and a full heart, a V and an E, and that's just dope in general. That's also the name of one of my songs. So it ends up working out to people who have no attachment to my group, but also the people who have an attachment to my group. So it casts a bigger net around consumers that could end up liking and purchasing this merch. Now that's merch that I can buy prior to even having fans because I know this song is coming out, whatever. This is what I'm gonna perform. It also will make people want to go listen to the song because then when they ask you, well, where did you get this right here? Oh, this is my brand. It's from a song that I have. Then they're gonna be like, well, can I hear the song? You see what I'm saying? So that can help you build fans. And then if it, as I said, if it's dope merch, people will be like, "Oh, that's a dope. What's this about?" You know what I'm saying? And then you can kind of be like, "Yo, that's the merch. I'm a artist," and then they're gonna want to see the artistry. They're gonna want to hear the artistry. So you can buy merch way before you get like tons of fans. You need to have it consistently. That's what I was like the worst at was the consistency of that because I did all my own bookings. I paid for the venues, you know what I'm saying? I did all my own stuff, all my advertisements, everything like that. Didn't have any bookers or anything, and I'm doing all the work myself. I didn't really have time for merch. But I've seen people, as I've said before, I've seen people capitalize so much off merch because especially if you get merch crowds and when you start getting that, when you start getting that build a merch, like when I did it, I sold out of it. Like, so for instance, I was on Go Back to put it online. I was like, first we'll run it in a tour to see how people like it. Then we'll start picking and buying more pieces of the stuff people like. All my stuff was sold out at the end of the tour. I didn't have anything to put online. And then like I messed up the way we got our merch because like we wanted to be super hands on, so we would drive to get our merch in San Diego. I think it's San Diego. It was either San Diego or Anaheim, one of those places. Either way, we would drive to go get it and then bring it back. And so it then became hard to be like, yo, well, let's get these one-off pieces, whatever, boom, 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 and then wait for them. And then if you stay up above it, in front of it, then you can really maximize every show you're doing. Because especially if you're, and even with the national shows, the shows that are super like people that buy merch, like if you look like a Tech Nine crowd, there's a decent bit of rock groups that have like heavy amounts of merch, and a lot of those fans are gonna buy everybody's merch when they get there. So then I know dudes used to come into those shows and then be like make an extra $1,000, $2,000 just based off of because it's a merch crowd. But then some, of course, some artists aren't really merch crowds, so then they're not really buying that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, but either way, if you build your own fan base, then you can make them a merch crowd. You know what I'm saying? Like you can build that into who you are, and then people will want to support all the time. That's why you should just always have it, because it's definitely a talking piece to make you find more fans, because that definitely forces you also to go out and start mingling with the crowds that you get in front with. I always tell artists, don't have, like, if a person's going to sell your merch, only do that for the first part of the night. By the time you perform and you come off, even if you're the headliner, when you come off, then you sell the merch, because it's definitely a time where people can come meet and greet. People can come sign. You can sign posters, get people to posters. You're behind the table. They want to talk to you. They want to say you did a good job, everything like that. That's a higher chance of you also actually selling, because they're in front of you and then the merch is sitting right there. So then sometimes I think they feel inclined to be like, yo, let me grab some merch real quick too. People want to be like, they're so cool. If you're independent artist, you can't be that cool. You can't be so cool that you just don't want to be around nobody. Like, I'm too cool. Like, yeah, people that's famous like Usher ain't gonna sell their own merch because they famous. They got people that's gonna sell it, and they got tons of fans to buy it. As an independent artist, you don't have fans like that, so you need to get out there and sell it. At the end of the day, when you get off stage, go over there and sell that merch. And then you sell the merch, you sign the stuff. The person can still be there selling the merch, helping you, but then you go over there, sit there, so people come over there to it, because then that brings the eyes also to the merch. So this gives you another opportunity to make money. So even if you sold tickets for the show and you didn't make money over the tickets or anything like that, then you can make your money there. If you're good like that, you know what I'm saying? Like, make sure you use all your streams to find this income, because that's what's going to hold you over. There's points where we were just doing shows that we knew were heavy merch that we would just jump on for free when we were already making money doing shows. Like, so we were already selling big venues out and stuff like that. But then I knew if I jumped on this show with this artist that I know sells tons of stuff, I would hit the promoter like, yo, I'll do it for free, because then I can slide through, sell a couple, like 50 to 100 shirts or whatever, and be out. So definitely get merch whenever you can get it, because that's always something extra that can pull in a bigger amount of people that can possibly turn into your fans. This has been Music as a Day Job. I'm your host, Sean. Music as a Day Job is brought to you by the Qoncert app.